Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, Twin Flame Romance, Life, Path, and Purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. For this week, until June 15th, I am offering 10% off the Twin Flame Divine Feminines Boot Camp number 1 and number 2. The promo code is New Moon Gemini, all caps, and you can register and start on demand at either boot camp, either 1 or 2, at the links below. This is the weekly Twin Flame Tarot reading, messages for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and the couple. Today is Monday, and it is June 7th, 2021. How are you doing, Twin Flames? This is a huge week. It is the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini on June 10th, 2021. This is a huge start of a new phase. This is called the dark moon. It is like an incredible solar eclipse. Of course, no one is really going to see it since it's way at the north of the Earth. So no one who is living, below the North Pole is really going to be able to necessarily see the solar eclipse, but we can certainly feel the effects of the solar eclipse. And it is a time to set your intentions as well. And to that end, I'm going to be doing a live stream on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're watching this on June 7th, that is June 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be doing a live stream to set your intentions and desires and with card pulls. So there will be more details on the community page on that, but be sure to mark the date. To that end, I'm going to say a prayer over the cards. Dear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, archangels, angels of God, twin flames, guardian angels, let this reading be of the highest light and love of God the Father. Let it bring light, love, and truth to everyone involved. Archangel Michael, please stand guard, casting away any lower energies with your sword of light. Romance angels and twin flame angels, please help twin flames around the globe and in this community to understand what they need to know this week. Okay, so we are going to start with the Divine Feminines, and we're going to pull a card from the Angel Tarot deck, from the Daily Messages from Your Angels deck, and from the World of Answers deck. So we're going to start with Divine Feminines here. And here we go for DFs. And next we're going to pick from the Daily Messages from Your Angels. As I always mention every week, this is a really good time to center in, focus on your heart space, take a couple of deep breaths, and be ready to open your heart to receive the messages for today. A lot of times we just want to get the message, almost like getting candy out of a vending machine. And we get really impatient. And so we want to scroll through and fast forward through and get those messages really quickly. And then if the messages aren't necessarily what we want to hear, we get really frustrated. But what I'd like you to do is really center yourself so that your heart is open to receiving the messages that are pertinent for you. So this is for Divine Masculines in this collective and what they need to know to learn and grow for this week. The DMs, let's see what the DM energy is for the Union energies. And we're going to grab one from the Daily Messages from Your Angels. And we'll see what comes out here. Oh, there are two. Interesting. That rarely happens, but we will take them. We're going to get one from the World of Answers Oracle as well. World of Answers for the DMs. This will help maybe clarify those messages. Let's get one tarot card for the Twin Flame couple here. So there is no live stream that I do normally for Twin Flames on Saturday, June 12th, but instead I have a special surprise for you, a video that I'm going to post on that day. So the regular Twin Flame live stream will be back on the 19th. This is for the Twin Flame couple union energies, please. And And let's grab a daily message for the twin flame couple as well. New beginnings all around for this new moon. And really new beginnings that are going to last 6 months to several years. And as always happens in eclipse season as well. So this is the World of Answers Oracle for the twin flame couple. And let's grab a romance message. Romance card for the twin flame couples. Romance angels, please help twin flames around the globe to understand what is the romance energy for this week for twin flames coming into union. And we've got the messages of love. This will either enhance or slightly change the meaning of the messages for this week. I'm as excited to see the messages for this week as you are, twin flame. And again, I've just completely heard like crazy union messages from the community. So that for those of you that are like in despair, just know that it's happening. It really is happening. And we're gonna take two, these are messages from DM to DF for the union energies for this week. DM what you have to say to your divine feminine from your heart space. We really wanna know. Okay, so let's get started with divine feminines first. We've got this 10 of air and have confidence. I really like this. I like it a lot because 10 of air is about overcoming difficulties, the end of a really difficult period. And the number 10, do you see it here? The number 10 indicates endings and new beginnings. What did I just say right before I pulled up these cards? This is about new beginnings. When is this solar eclipse happening? On the 10th, and we have the number 10 here. This is about really overcoming something difficult, divine feminines. This is the start of something new, a new phase, right? It's about like if you have struggled with addiction, if you've struggled with things that have been holding you back, divine feminines, or things that have been holding back this twin flame connection, those difficulties are over. Those difficulties are done. And I feel like some of these difficulties have to do with you personally, divine feminines, because we got have confidence and find your center. Have confidence and find your center. Now, what I believe this have confidence and find your center is about trusting in your creator, trusting in God that this can be better. I feel like things have been so difficult for you, divine feminines, in many walks of your life. It could be like your relationship with your twin flame, your relationship maybe with your children or your mom and dad, your family, or even your workplace. And I feel like because of all of these difficulties, you have actually lost confidence in yourself. You're like, oh, why do I even try again if I'm just gonna like fail or if it's just not gonna work out? I feel like I try and I try and I try and I try and nothing works out. And I really believe that this week you need to work on the rising self-confidence that is within you. Find your center. Don't go to extremes because it's not about the all or nothing attitude. It's really about balance. And that's something I teach and preach every single day. It's about finding that balance. And I feel with confidence, divine feminines, it's about fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it. You might think like, oh, there have been so many false starts with my twin flame journey. There have been so many times where I thought this is it. When my DM reaches out to me, this is it. This is our new beginning. And so many times it has failed. It's been a literal false start. So now when I think about reunion, when I think about this journey, I think about like not having confidence in it. I feel like I don't have confidence in myself to trust my own intuition, that every time that I think like this is it, that it doesn't happen. So now I don't even have confidence in myself and my own intuition. And what I want to say to you, divine feminines, that confidence in God is enough. And that's literally what the card is indicating. Like you don't need necessarily to have that much confidence in yourself, but confidence in your creator is enough to start trusting in your intuition. And when you find your center, you will know that. You will know that you're not 100% responsible. And actually, you know what? I want to put that video link right here. A few weeks back, maybe a month or two back, I put like, is DF 100% responsible for reunion? And I want you to know that like, it's not your responsibility at 100% to make this happen. But what I am seeing this week is that like the worst is behind you. With your twin flame journey, the worst is actually behind you. So I feel like you haven't had the confidence because you're just feeling like, why should I try again when there's all these false starts? Why should I try again when I failed? It's okay. Have confidence. Don't worry. So for DMs, I'm seeing like this is actually super good energy. This is a twin flame card, and I almost like gasped because I feel like it's almost a miracle that this card came out. This is the balance card. What did I just say about divine feminines? I said balance, find your center, find the balance point. It's not an all or nothing deal. And I feel like for DMs, this is what I consider this is temperance in traditional tarot. And it is one card that I do consider out of 6 or maybe 7 in the tarot deck that really indicates and points to twin flames for me when I do readings. Temperance is about balance between the yin and the yang energies, the water and the fire energies. And what I feel is that for DMs, they are reaching this point of balance. Now, some of them, and I've mentioned this for the past 2 to 3 weeks, I believe, maybe not in the union energies, I'm not sure, but also in the DM readings that has come out, that even though DMs are reaching this point of balance, they're still a little disappointed in themselves because they feel that they should have been ready earlier. They feel that they should have taken action earlier. And here, the angels are saying, look, DMs, look, divine masculines, it is a blessing in disguise that this did not happen sooner. I feel like DMs will understand why it didn't happen sooner, why they didn't have the courage and strength and balance sooner to make it happen. And they need to not be so down on themselves for taking such a long time, because I feel like there was so much being worked out. There were family issues, inner child issues, parental issues being worked out. But I do feel very strongly, divine masculines, that it's time to communicate with your divine feminines. We've got this communication card. Now, we do know certainly that Mercury is in retrograde, and we do know that Gemini, with Mercury as its ruler, is the planet of communication. So we do know that when Mercury is in retrograde, that communication can sometimes get confusing. It can get muddled. You can have dropped communication, miscommunication. Words can be interpreted wrongly during a Mercury retrograde. But also, as I mentioned when I was doing the reading last week, and perhaps the live stream as well, that a Mercury retrograde is also a great opportunity to mend fences. It's really a great opportunity for especially twin flames to go back and sort things out. So divine masculine, if it is your turn and your time, as your angels are saying, to communicate via text, email, phone, in person with your divine feminines, it's that it is time to mend the fences. It is time to use this opportunity during this Mercury retrograde to repair communications that were lost prior to Mercury retrograde this time. And maybe even those communications that happened even when the Mercury was in retrograde, even back in February. So I feel like it really is that time to move this forward. Now, I love this because what I want to say to you, and this is so important for everyone to understand, so please, please, please understand this. And I knew this all along about couples and romance and long-term relationships and marriages, but it was reminded to me by 2 separate people in the past 4 to 5 months. And in fact, my twin flame also reminded me of this, but he doesn't know that that is actually what reminded me of it. But what I really want to say to you is that if you have never been in a long-term relationship, let's say longer than 2 years, Let's say you have never been married or in a long-term relationship that's exceeded, let's say, the 2 to 3 year mark, where things do actually start to get difficult in the sense that, there's the growing dynamic between two individuals growing as individuals, and then those two individuals also having to grow together. And so when you're in a relationship for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, the foundation of that relationship must be a strong friendship, an unshakable strong friendship. Instead of just loving or having lust or romance and chemistry with your person, it is of the utmost importance that you have this solid, strong friendship first, that you like them. You can love a person without actually liking them. That was reminded to me when I re-looked at a book I had read back in 2013 called Love Karma. So I feel very strongly that as a twin flame, you are so focused, and I know this because I talk to so many of you. You are so focused on the romance and the reunion in the romantic sense, but also like, when am I going to get married to my twin flame? When are we going to be together forever? This happily ever after, which is a great goal. I'm not denying that as the ultimate, right? As the ultimate success in relationships, to have that commitment, to have that unconditional love where you say, yes, you are my person and I choose you today, but I also choose you every day. And I wake up every morning and I choose you, because that's what long-term is about. It's about waking up every morning and choosing that person, whether or not you hate them that day. Because believe me, in a long-term relationship, that does happen some days. But it's really about solidifying the strong, immovable friendship that is the basis and the foundation for a really solid long-term relationship. Someone who is very special in my life reminded me of this recently when he spoke of his parents. And he said, my parents have been married, I don't know how long, I guess 40 years or something. But he said they also have known each other since they were like 3 or 4 years old, and they grew up together, and they grew up as best friends. And to this day, they are still best friends, and they're in their 70s. And it's just a beautiful testimony to, there are ups and downs in long-term relationships. Like I said, you're gonna wake up some days and you're gonna be like, I can't stand this person I'm next to, even if they are your twin flame. But do you have that solid friendship that is immovable? Like, that is the basis for success. So we got this renewal card, and we got this friendship card, which I love. The renewal is judgment. It's about an ending and a beginning. And what did I say at the beginning of this reading? An ending for a beginning. It is about turning in a new direction. When both parties in a relationship, when both parties in this divine counterpart have made assessments about their own lives, gone through the checklists, and when they have made the decision, look, this is worth saving. This partnership, this divine connection with my twin flame is worth saving. It's worth taking this in a new direction. And if that needs to start with a solid foundation of friendship, so be it. Because for some of you, that's what it's gonna look like. For others of you who are way more forward on the path with your twin flame, maybe you were already in a romantic partnership. Maybe you guys were married. Maybe you guys were in a long-term romance where you were living together prior. You might have to go back and mend fences, as I mentioned earlier, like repairing that friendship piece and then moving forward back into the romance piece. But I feel like there is this sense of, let's get to know each other for who we are first and appreciate each other and celebrate each other's strengths, but also accept each other's differences. And I feel like that is going to be so crucial to the building blocks that are building this twin flame romance, as I say, moving forward. Now, you got this entrepreneur card, and I have felt this so strongly that so many twin flames are going to be building businesses together. And this is building their work together, their professional lives together, their mission together. And I really feel like in order even to work together professionally, you have to have that friendship. So it's really something to think about. I feel like it's something to ponder over and really work toward. Now, I got this romance card that is something, it's like digging up stuff from the past, but I really want to get some clarity. So angels, can you please give me clarity on this romance energy here for twin flames? Because I feel like we really need to understand why this message came out for this week. All right, I'm gonna grab one more. I wanna get a fuller picture of why this came out. Okay, so here we go. This is not for all of you, okay? So I want you to understand that this romance message, and sometimes, in all honesty, it's happened infrequently, but it has happened, where the romance message with the rest of the messages seems kind of like a hybrid message, so that it's like a message apart from the general collective. So I feel that the romance message, so tune out if this does not pertain to you in your situation, but do tune in if it does pertain to you in your situation. So for like 10% or less of the twin flame collective that is dealing with certain issues, which I'll name in a minute, this is your message, okay? Because I know that when you come to this channel or when you come to any reading in general, that you guys are on a spectrum, right? So some of you began your twin flame journey years ago or decades ago, and some of you began your twin flame journey in 2021, right? So everybody is on a different area in the path of their twin flame journey. So for 10% of you or less, this is the romance message that really needed to come out for you. Now, one of the things that I want to say about the divine feminine message that could be connected to this is the 10 of air, because the 10 of air can be about overcoming codependency or addictions. So you got codependency, but you got protected. Those are the two cards that came out at the same time. So I feel like this divine connection is divinely protected regardless of the codependency/addiction issues, because the other side of codependency is addiction, and it literally says addictions are affecting your romantic life. For 10% of you or less out there, your twin flame divine counterpart is suffering from addictions, whether it's addiction to alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex, whatever, pornography, whatever it is. But they're infused still in this sense of addiction. Again, needing to find balance. So if you want to tie in the other messages, there you go. But look, because of this addiction, your partner is still unavailable, but you need to lean on support during this time. What is support? It could be a therapist, your family, Al-Anon, right? 12-step groups that are going to help you overcome your addictions or overcome codependency. There are groups for codependence as well, which Al-Anon really is kind of a group for codependence. But I feel like for the 10% of you or less, I don't know if it's 10%, it's probably less, whose twin flame is still infused in this sense of addictive behaviors, just know that you're still protected. You're divinely protected. Your divine connection is still protected. But it's time for you to realize that while your twin flame is infused in this addiction and not overcoming it yet, that it's time for you to go out and get support, the support that you need so that you can either overcome A, an addiction if you are in that camp too, B, codependency, or C, just downright being an enabler, for example. So that is a message for about 10% of you or less, and I just wanted to give that to you because I feel like it's a gift for you this week. Okay, so again, I really feel like, again, the DM messages are directly related to that 10%, okay? So for the rest of you, again, you can tune out. You don't have to tune in to this part of this message, but I feel like it's still needed to be said. to that small group of twin flames who are in very deep frustration based on these facts that I gave about the romance messages. Your DM is saying we need to let each other go, and I regret lying to you. Again, I feel this has everything to do with the addiction piece for those twin flames that are still addicted. And I feel like we need to let each other go is so that they can heal. And your DM regrets lying to you about the nature of the addiction. Again, it could be a whole host of things. For some of them, it was the alcohol and drugs and maybe excessive spending as a result of that. The gambling, the pornography, the sex addiction, whatever that seemed to be, they really, really regret lying to you about it. That you perhaps, twin flame, you perhaps brought it up to them. You weren't really being codependent. You weren't really enabling. Maybe some of you were, but you brought it up to them and they flat out denied it. Well, denial is a huge part of addiction. So I just want to say to you, for the 10% that the last part of the reading was for, what I want to say to you is I wrote a book called Help, I Think My Loved One is an Alcoholic, a survival guide for lovers, family, and friends. And what I want to let you know that I wrote that as a resource for people who love an addict to be able to understand things from their perspective. So that book is on Amazon and the link is below to actually purchase that book. But I feel like you need the support if you are in that camp. So I just want to say I love you guys so much. These messages are pretty strong for this week. For both sides of the collective, the 90% for the first part of the reading, the 10% for the second part of the reading. But I feel like the messages are very, very strong this week. So I wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. And thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can join a boot camp. You can pledge your support on Patreon. www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin, and I will see you in the next video.